Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sophie.
I'm Gaynor.
And we're without the boys again
We are,
today.
yeah.
Just us girls. So today, now I watched a documentary on this on Friday.
Okay.
It just came out on Netflix about the Murdaugh family. And obviously I love like crime and you're quite similar.
Yeah, I love anything like this.
So obviously I've seen it but you haven't yet.
No,
so
no.
We're going to react to top 10 shocking facts about Alex Murdaugh. And see what you think.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, ready?
The once prominent attorney emerging in a beige jumpsuit, his wrists and ankles shackled.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 shocking facts about Alex Murdaugh.
Many who thought they knew the friendly, wealthy, successful lawyer, Big Red, now wonder if they ever really knew him at all.
For this list, we're looking at the twists and turns in the strange case of South Carolina lawyer Alex Murdaugh. Which of these facts did you find to be the most curious? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. He comes from a powerful family of South Carolina lawyers. One of the many reasons Alex Murdaugh has gained attention in the news from his scandals is because he's part of a family with a legal dynasty in the Low Country region of South Carolina.
Personal injury lawyer Alex Murdaugh hails from a prominent legal dynasty.
From 1920 to 2006, members from 3 generations of the Murdaugh family served as 14th Circuit solicitor, a prosecutor role that covers 5 counties in the South Carolina Low Country.
For more than 85 years, 3 generations of Murdaughs with the supreme law for more than 3,200 square miles of Low Country.
Alex himself had worked as a personal injury lawyer at a law firm until he resigned in September 2021. But we'll get to the reason why later.
The family's grip on the solicitor's office ended in 2005 when Randolph Murdaugh III retired.
Number 9. His wife and son were murdered. In June 2021, Alex's wife, Margaret, and son Paul were shot multiple times near dog kennels on their family estate, and their murders have yet to be solved. Alex claims that during the time of their murders, he was away from home, and when he found their bodies, he called 911 immediately.
Authorities say Alex Murdaugh called 911 just after 10 p.m. last Monday night. He had just arrived home, finding the bodies of his 22-year-old son, Paul, and his 56-year-old wife, Maggie, near the dog kennels outside the family's hunting lodge.
The murders originally earned Murdaugh the sympathy of the local community, but the mysterious circumstances and other scandals that have been uncovered since have changed public opinion.
I can only imagine when you come home and have to find your wife and your son in the yard.
The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, or SLED for short, is currently investigating the murders.
The State Law Enforcement Division has joined the investigation into their death.
Number 8. His son Paul was awaiting trial. At the time of his death, Paul was facing legal trouble for allegedly operating a boat under the influence, with a .286 blood alcohol level during a 2019 incident. His alleged negligence resulted in a crash that killed 19-year-old Mallory Beach.
The boat slammed into a piling on the Archers Creek Bridge.
At the time of the trial, there were suspicions that Alex Murdaugh was using his connections in the legal system to interfere with the investigation of his son.
Y'all know Alex Murdaugh? Oh, yeah, I know that name. That's his son.
I've heard about that boat crash.
Yeah, I think it was all over the news.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember the rest of it, but I remember that happening. I remember there being rumours that his father was going to try and get him off.
Yeah, try and sort of like... Yeah, because he's a lawyer as well and he's got a lot of influence and stuff. Yeah. I know, it's sad.
That's so driving the boat. Good luck.
This led to Duffy Stone, the current 14th Circuit District Solicitor, recusing himself because of his connections to Murdaugh.
Paul Murdaugh was indicted on charges of boating under the influence causing death.
Number 7. He is being sued for the boating accident. That lawsuit is being filed by Connor Cook, a survivor of the 2019 boating incident.
Cook's defense states Alex Murdaugh tried to pin responsibility of the crash on Connor Cook by going room to room, speaking to the passengers, by controlling the narrative.
Among the things the suit claims is that because of Paul's history of drinking problems, Alex should not have let him operate a boat with 5 of his friends on it. Another claim points to a, quote, whisper campaign organized by Alex Murdaugh to put the blame for the boating accident on Cook.
But in this lawsuit, Cook's attorney says Alex Murdaugh tried to shift the blame to his client.
Also, according to Cook, Murdaugh recommended a lawyer to represent him on this issue. However, Murdaugh left out that the lawyer was godfather to his son Paul, which sounds like a huge conflict of interest.
It is critical to these families, and frankly, for all of us to see an end to this.
Number 6, he may be connected to the death of a teenager. In 2015, 19-year-old Stephen Smith, who was from the same graduating class as Alex Murdaugh's other son Buster, was found dead near the Murdaugh estate. Smith's death is thought to be the result of a hit and run.
At the time, investigators said it appeared he had been hit by a car, but no arrests were ever made.
There was renewed interest in the case after the murders of Margaret and Paul Murdaugh, and SLED reopened the investigation into Smith's death in June 2021. Once again, 14th Circuit solicitor Duffy Stone has recused himself from the case because of his connections with Murdaugh. This is another example of a strange death connected to Alex Murdaugh.
The Murdaugh's power over the county referenced multiple times in different interviews, investigators assuring people the process was confidential.
Number 5, he was pushed out of his own law firm.
And now, ABC News learning Alex has resigned from his family law firm after it was discovered he had misappropriated money from the firm.
As previously mentioned, Murdaugh announced his resignation from his law firm, Peters, Murdaugh, Parker, Eltsroth, and Dietrich, or PMPED for short, in early September 2021. However, PMPED stated days later that Murdaugh had left the firm because they discovered that he had misappropriated funds from clients worth millions of dollars.
The powerful family law firm announces they discovered Alex Murdaugh had allegedly stolen significant funds from the company. Sources tell CNN it was millions of dollars.
In light of this allegation made by PMPED, Murdaugh's law license has been suspended by the South Carolina Supreme Court, and SLED is currently investigating the matter. In addition, PMPED has announced that they have hired a forensic accounting firm to launch their own investigation.
The firm now suing Murdaugh, saying he needs to pay back that money, including damages.
Number 4, he has a substance problem. The same day Murdaugh announced that he was leaving his law firm, he also stated that he was checking himself into rehab.
I'm resigning from my law firm and entering rehab after a long battle that has been exacerbated by these murders.
The reason he's seeking treatment is for an oxycodone addiction, which is something he claimed to have had a long battle with, but has become worse since his wife and son died. One of Murdaugh's lawyers later blamed Murdaugh's insurance fraud scandal on his depression and his substance abuse problems brought about by his personal family tragedy.
He's a high-profile example of how far people can fall.
Another attorney told NBC News that Murdaugh used the, quote, vast majority of the money he took from his firm to buy drugs.
He wrote out checks to drug dealers, and the vast majority of that money went to buy oxycodone.
Number 3, he was shot in the head. In September 2021, Murdaugh told authorities that he was shot in the head while he was on the side of the road changing a tire, and a pickup truck pulled up right beside him.
We're told that car ended up turning around and someone inside then shot Murdaugh.
After experiencing a, quote, superficial gunshot wound, which grazed his head, he was taken to a hospital for treatment in Savannah, Georgia. However, Murdaugh's lawyers later revealed that Murdaugh arranged to have someone shoot him in the head, and the man who shot him was Curtis Smith, a drug dealer who supplied oxycodone to Murdaugh.
Are you innocent of everything?
I'm innocent. If I'd have shot him, he'd been dead.
Number 2, he is facing trial for fraud.
So I assume, I think he was trying to set the guy up who was the drug dealer.
Yeah.
I think he hired him he hired him to say, oh, shoot me in the head, but then...
For what reason, though? This is what I'm getting a bit confused about.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like you have to watch, like, because it's a 3-hour documentary,
right,
and that kind of covers everything.
Okay.
But, like, from what I can remember, I think it was that he tried to say, because obviously, like, his wife and son, I don't think he's actually been convicted of their murders even now.
So, yeah.
But I think what he was trying to do is say, is he hired this guy to shoot him, or to try and shoot him, to then say, well, it couldn't have been me that shot, you know, my wife and my son, because someone's out to get us, clearly, because someone's come after me as well, kind of thing.
It sounds like a little bit messed up.
Yeah, honestly, the documentary, like, his son as well, the one who got shot, obviously, like, I think the whole family, there was just a lot kind of under the surface, like, they were very, like, wealthy and prominent, and, you know, kind of put on this, like, you know, like, glossy facade, but then there was, I think, a lot of stuff underneath the surface going on.
Yeah, no, it looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Smith, Murdaugh's partner in this scheme, has been charged with assisting Murdaugh in an attempt to end a life, insurance fraud, and conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, among other crimes. For his involvement in setting up his own murder plot, Murdaugh is being charged with 3 counts, including insurance fraud. One possible motive for Murdaugh to put a hit was to collect insurance money to give to his other son, Buster.
A plot to ensure Murdaugh's son could collect on a $10 million insurance claim after his death.
Murdaugh surrendered himself to authorities in September 2021 and is currently facing trial. He's out on a $20,000 bond and still seeking treatment in rehab during the trial.
Tonight, Murdaugh is headed back to rehab, but his legal woes are likely far from over.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. His housekeeper died under mysterious circumstances. Court records state that Murdaugh's housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, died of a, quote, trip and fall accident in 2018.
She was originally listed as dying in a trip and fall accident back in 2018.
However, no autopsy was ever carried out, and Angela Topper, the Hampton County coroner, also noted an inconsistency that her death was listed on the death certificate as natural, even though that contradicts the trip and fall explanation. Satterfield's 2 surviving sons successfully sued Murdaugh, but were not paid the $505,000 they were owed.
The documents show Alex Murdaugh told the boys at Gloria's funeral that her fall was his fault and offered to help with legal claims.
Because of this and the other mysterious deaths mentioned earlier, an investigation was opened up into Satterfield's death.
That investigation is being done by SLED into the death of Gloria Satterfield and the handling of her estate.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo, and be sure...
It sounds like he's... I think there's a lot more people that are probably dead at his hands.
Yeah, well there was, I think 5, if I remember. There was a young boy that was about the same age as I think his youngest son. Then there was the housekeeper. Then there was the girl in 2019 with the boat crash. Yeah. And then there was obviously his wife and his son as well, all in the space of 5 years.
And the thing is, you just want to know why, what these people have done to you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But you never find out.
No.
Like I've seen, you know, interviewers go to jails like 20 years later and say, just tell us what happened.
Yeah, like we just want closure.
And they still claim to know nothing.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't me. Nothing to do with me.
And they'll kind of, so you'd never find out, would you? If they're going to admit to it, they'd probably admit to it there and then, or they're just going to stay quiet.
Yeah, you'd think once they've gone inside, they kind of think,
and been convicted.
They think, right, let me just, tell the story, but they don't.
Yeah,
they just unravel more and more.
Yeah, I know, it's scary.
Yeah.
But so I think he's still on trial at the minute. I don't think he's been necessarily convicted of anything.
Is something that's new?
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Well, 2021 he said, so it's definitely a new story.
Yeah. But it's interesting. Yeah, it's sad though, isn't it?
It's very sad.
5 people, including his own wife and son.
Yeah. What's somebody done to him to end up like that?
I know.
Especially your wife and son.
That's the thing. I know.
Like
you just couldn't imagine it, could you?
No.
But yeah. I know. Right. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.